just have a favorite player on that team, please just put down your favorite team down in the comments down below with an explanation. I'm doing another sort of me reading my subscribers blank video. The last time we did a video like this. I did a reading my subscribers favorite players, and you guys really liked that. So this time we're going to be doing the same thing but with NBA teams. So put your favorite team down in the comments. You can give a reason. You don't have to give a reason. You can go into depth about the reason. You can just say it's because of this player. Totally fine. Make sure you leave a comment down below, and also obviously drop a like on tonight's video. Okay, now let's finally get started. Hello, everyone. It's ASMballeR here, and today I am back with another video. And in tonight's video, as you can see, we are finally going back to talking basketball. And I'm saying that because yesterday I actually did a double upload day. I did another Overwatch gameplay video, which has been very overdue. Have not done one of those in a very long time, even though it's one of my top viewed videos, my Overwatch videos. And also a Star Wars Battlefront 2 video / a top 10 ranking my personal top 10 of Star Wars movies. So if you're a fan of video games, Star Wars, gameplay, anything like that, I even do a soft-spoken video on one of them. Make sure you guys check out yesterday's videos. I will very much appreciate that a lot. As you saw in the beginning of this video, a sort of call to action, commenting down below your favorite NBA team. It will help me out a lot with tomorrow's video. So make sure you do it right now. I'll very much appreciate it. What else do I have to talk about? Obviously, like the video. If you like the video, subscribe to my channel. Still very close to 5K. I think we're about slightly over 4.6, which is so crazy to think about. Yeah, we are going to be talking about the biggest gambles that are going on in next season's sort of storylines that are going on. So sit back, relax, and let's sort of jump into this. I'm just going off rip. We're just going to be a very whispered ramble type video. But not only that, I do actually have a pack of gum here. Finally, I know. Whenever I go to the store, I never think about getting gum because I don't / can't really chew gum. I have really bad TMJ, so my jaws get very tired very fast. So, ooh, that feeling when you buy something new. Ooh man, that was very nice. Okay, let's pop in one of these bad boys. I know I don't do a lot of gum chewing videos on my channel, but I know you guys very much enjoyed, at least a vast majority of you probably do. But I've said this before, when I do gum chewing videos, I'm not much of a loud chewer, so even if you're not a fan, it's definitely not going to be super overpowering, at least in my opinion. Okay, well, one of the biggest headlines that sort of went down during the off-season and going into next season is the hype around the Phoenix Suns. And if you sort of buy or sell on the Phoenix Suns' success next season, man, that's really tough. In my opinion, I think I'm going to have to say I'm going to have to buy. I think I'm going to have to buy. Not with sort of success as in, wow, here comes the Suns, here they come. They're a top 3 seed in the Western Conference. Western Conference Finals, championship aspirations. No, nothing like that. But the sort of playoff contention, sort of 8th, 7th, 6th seeded Phoenix Suns is definitely a high possibility. So I do buy on the success in that terms. Now, I don't buy on sort of the Chris Paul and Devin Booker are now the best backcourt in the NBA. And that's saying success. Obviously, a lot more than they did last year. I think they, at the very least, get a playoff play-in series against one of the 8th or 7th seeded teams. I think that's very possible at the very base. If something really bad happens, I feel like that's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, I mean, Chris Paul literally does not decline at all. Somehow Devin Booker gets even better. DeAndre Ayton makes that humongous jump and becomes that sort of third option for that amazing squad that they have in Phoenix. Their power forward position is kept safe with, Kim Johnson and Dario Saric and the rookie that they just drafted. That's going all good. The depth isn't hurt at all. And, they could find themselves in like a 4th, 5th seeded area where they're actually a very efficient and good team. I think that is definitely their peak. What I do not buy, again, is them being the best backcourt. Western Conference Finals, can this team, this, that, and the other. That I don't buy. I feel like they definitely need a lot more experience. Obviously not with Chris Paul. I feel like even with Devin Booker, you throw him in a playoff series, he's gonna be just fine. He has, cold blood running through his veins. He's definitely fine. But the other guys like Ayton and all the other sort of younger guys on that squad might fold under pressure. So I wouldn't really trust them in a playoff series. Maybe you might have to have Chris Paul and Devin Booker will you guys to some wins if that ever did happen. So when it comes to sort of that sort of long-term success, I don't believe that at all. So that is one thing I wanted to talk about with you guys, is sort of buying or selling something that's going on this upcoming season. Are the Phoenix Suns? I do buy that they will make the playoffs, but I think first round exit is maybe their peak. Another big gamble that we can talk about that sort of went on this offseason, or just another big storyline that went on this offseason, was the Oklahoma City Thunder, kind of going off of what we were just talking about with Phoenix, but the Oklahoma City Thunder playing through the draft for their future. Now, we all know that the OKC Thunder had a lot of really good talent on their team. Obviously, at one point in time, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Victor Oladipo, Paul George. They've had great talent throughout their sort of last 10 years of being, the OKC Thunder. And when you look at the talent they've gotten back for even all of those players, not really the best turnout, but they're trying to do something different instead of getting good, aspiring young talent like they sort of did before with the trades of Harden and all the other players that they've had before. They're sort of going with the draft sort of route on this way. Obviously, I feel like the trade for Paul George for Shea was an amazing trade. Thank God they did that and didn't just get a bunch of draft picks or didn't just let him walk or something like that. I feel like picking up Shea and that trade for Paul George was the key to sort of everything now that's going on in OKC. He's definitely the sort of guy who has the reins right now, especially just, I'm assuming, learning a lot from Chris Paul. And I really hope that Shea becomes the point guard for that team. I don't want to see him at the 2 anymore. They got rid of Rubio, they got rid of Schroeder, and they got rid of Chris Paul. I really hope he becomes his true position, at least in my opinion, a point guard for that team. Now, do I sort of buy or sell again? Is that the best thing to do, is praying for great picks with draft picks? I'm gonna say sell. I think I've talked about this actually a little bit before in like small detail in one of my previous videos, but I think in my opinion I would rather have good young players to develop in OKC than, like I said before, hoping and praying a good player and a good draft pick falls to you. I feel like teams for years have been hoping and praying for good draft picks, and it just does not happen. I feel like obviously when it comes to different trades that sort of went down between teams and the Thunder, I feel like the Thunder almost lost or got the odd end of all of the deals that happened. Of course, besides the seasons. In 5 years, the Thunder will have either traded or picked up 22 different players for their team just at the draft. Wow. And notably, a lot of the teams they've dealt players for, draft picks for, different things like that, are teams like the Clippers. I think they may have gotten draft picks from the Pelicans, and I think they may have gotten draft picks from the Philadelphia 76ers. Probably a couple of other, I think also from the Phoenix Suns. Maybe for Chris Paul. I think they got one for Chris Paul. But obviously, all those teams are in playoff mode. These are not bad teams. These draft picks that they're going to get, even the Phoenix Suns one, I think it's for this upcoming draft. With how the Suns are built right now, that's going to be at least a top 15, top 20 pick, especially if the Suns make the playoffs. Obviously, Philly's good with where they are right now. All the other teams they made picks for, they're good, they're set, they're going to be good for years. So, I highly doubt that those draft picks are going to be very valuable. They're not going to be high at all. So that's very sad to see. Now, obviously, the Thunder are going to be bad, which is good. They need to start sucking and start tanking, getting good draft picks and things like that. That's totally fine. But the way they traded away a bunch of these sort of players who, at least in my opinion, had a very good value, like Steven Adams, Chris Paul. I think they also traded away, obviously, Kelly Oubre to the Warriors. I think they should have gotten more, at least in my opinion. Also, I think they traded away Rubio, and I think maybe even some more players as well when they traded for Al Horford, which was, my God, they got Al Horford on their team. Like, I don't know. I just don't really like them just throwing away things just to get, some kid who's like an 8th grader right now and hoping he becomes the next sort of great player for their team. I don't really like that. I think I would rather have them start trading for young assets who are maybe in the rut or not sort of performing well with their current teams. I can think of some like they somehow could have gotten like Kevin Knox from the Knicks. I feel like that would have been awesome if they could have gotten maybe someone from Memphis. They have a bunch of good young talent, and maybe someone would maybe want out to get more of a starting role. There are a lot of young players in the league who just want a chance, who are really good, and maybe they should have looked more into that instead of just gathering draft picks that may be, a 20th pick in a draft where it's not going to be like a top 5 pick, and you have a bunch of top 5 picks because, oh my God, you got all these draft picks. It doesn't turn automatically into great players. It can happen. It can sure happen. Obviously, you have a lot of great talent in the NBA that's sort of around that, 15, 20, even in the 30s. There have been amazing players that have come out of there, but I don't really like that sort of risk, and I feel like they're taking a humongous risk in not sort of picking up young, developing players like what they did with Shea. I feel like the Paul George for Shea trade was absolutely amazing. I feel like they should have done more trades like that instead of just, we'll just give you this player for a lot of draft picks and we're good. I think I'm gonna say that's gonna be a big mistake for the Oklahoma City Thunder, at least in my opinion. Another sort of big risk we can talk about going into next season is the risk that the Warriors took in actually drafting a player at the number 2 spot. I think that, in my opinion, it was, man. Okay, so during that time, they knew that Klay Thompson was injured. They knew that if Klay Thompson was not injured and it was a fully healthy squad, Golden State Warriors team, and they drafted James Wiseman with that pick, I would say that was a horrible decision and that was the wrong move. But seeing, the injuries of Steph and now Klay Thompson, Draymond looking sort of on the other side of his prime right now, you have Wiggins, who's like a younger talent. You have Kelly Oubre, who's like a younger talent. You have a lot of young guys who played last year who are looking to develop to even better now that they had, a whole year to just start in the NBA and play a bunch of games that were kind of meaningless for the Warriors. I think the Warriors are starting to try to mesh the future and the present with their talent. So, with that being said, I actually comments if you think that as well. Like I said, if this was before the Klay Thompson injury and they drafted James Wiseman without trying to at least get a player like Vucevic or Steven Adams, or just getting another center who is more of a developed, great big man to trade that number 2 pick with, even like a Clint Capella, someone like that, then I would be like, okay, well they just ruined that for some reason. But now that Klay Thompson is hurt for the entire season, and you're starting Wiggins and Oubre, and you still have Draymond, which is nice. You have Steph who's coming off an injury. You're not sure about your future, and it might be a little wishy-washy here from the next, 2-3 seasons. It might be the end of the prime of the Golden State Warriors with this dynamic duo, Steph and Klay. So, with drafting Wiseman, who can develop and has the potential to be, obviously the best player in that draft, but not only that, one of the great NBA centers in the league. He's a big, almost 7-foot guy, almost has a young Dwight Howard sort of build, but he plays like a traditional NBA big man in the year 2020. So, that's what you love. He can, mid-range, free throw, great rim runner, can dunk out the gym, can sometimes hit a 3. We're going to have to see how that develops sort of in the NBA range, but it's very exciting. So, with that being said, I think I am okay with them sort of picking up that next player, and I feel like going into next season, it will be the right move. Obviously, the Warriors are going to be fine. They're still going to be a playoff team, playoff contending team, especially now with, again, the uncertainty of the Rockets, the Thunder's decline. You have sort of a lot of other teams sort of in that sort of didn't really get much better, but didn't really digress, so they're kind of in like a where do they stand sort of area, and I think the Warriors could sneak their way into a playoff spot, 8, 7, 6, maybe even a 5th spot, or a play-in game where, oh my god, could you imagine your favorite team having to go up against the battle-tested Golden State Warriors if they were like a 10th or 9th seeded team, having to go up against the 8th or 7th seed in 2 games to play in for the playoffs? Bro, I'll have to pray for that team in the 8th or 7th spot, because the Warriors can definitely beat a team back-to-back with Steph and Draymond by themselves. Those guys are battle-tested, especially with Steve Kerr and their coaching staff. Like, they're going to be just fine in that sort of situation, so I have a lot of faith that they can still, make big noise next year in the playoffs, in the regular season. But with them getting Wiseman, Klay Thompson hurt, I feel like it was the right move. But if, Klay, wasn't hurt, or if Wiseman doesn't turn out to be that player, then of course I would much rather have them trade that pick for, again, a big-time center, at least in my opinion. Another sort of big-time gamble we can sort of talk about, or something that, looking forward into next season, is something that's a little bit shorter of an answer, I guess we can talk about, is the success of the Milwaukee Bucks offseason, and how well this offseason determines Giannis's free agency for next offseason, if that makes any sense. So, was this offseason good enough for Giannis Antetokounmpo to think, hey, they're actually trying to help me win a championship. I can become one of the greatest players of all time. They're helping me. I'm gonna stick around. Or, hey, this is not enough help. They could have done a better job. There are some other teams I feel like who can do a better job. I'm gonna jump ship. So, I definitely want to know your guys' opinion on this as well. Do you think this offseason was good enough for Giannis? I'm gonna say, at least in my opinion, Giannis seems like a very humble man. He seems like a very nice guy. He seems like he is someone who's very content with his life, being a multi-millionaire in America, coming from Greece. I feel like he's totally fine with playing anywhere. So even with, playing in Milwaukee for, a couple months out of the year, he can still live in California, Florida, anywhere he wants to, and still live a very luxurious life. So I don't think he very much cares where he plays. I think he just really cares about a team caring for him and a team taking care of him. And is. Chris Middleton, obviously his best friend. It seems like they still kept a lot of those sort of core guys over there in Milwaukee. A lot of guys left, of course, like Wesley Matthews and Eric Bledsoe and players like that who were very big in sort of their roles last year, because we all know Milwaukee's sort of best, or one of their best gifts, is their depth. That depth is getting very much smaller as years go by. Obviously, we just talked about with Wesley and Eric, Brogdon left a very long time ago. They're starting to lose a lot of good talent. And I don't know if Giannis is seeing this as, well, we're getting good talent back with, obviously with Jrue Holiday coming back, and they were very close with getting Bogdanovich. So on one hand, Giannis he seems like such a nice guy. He seems like he's very content with his life. He has his brother, one of his brothers on that team. He seems very happy where he is. But man, if Giannis is a first or second round out of the Eastern Conference playoffs this year, I could see him leaving. I can actually see that happening. Not like in a sort of LeBron or Kevin Durant type of move where he's just like, I'm not going to tell anyone and I'm just going to leave. Nothing like that. I think he's going to make it a very nice farewell, very polite farewell. Like a sort of, oh, I'm moving on and this and that and the other. I think it'll be something like that. I think it'd be something like that if that did happen. And then obviously it comes down to where he would go. The Knicks, always talking about the Knicks on this channel. Miami, maybe a team can make room somewhere, like the Lakers, the Warriors, some sort of already really great team. The Boston Celtics, some team like that where, my God, if that did happen, that'd be super crazy. So, I feel like going into this next season, I feel like I am buying that Giannis did have a good offseason, and I think he's happy with the team, and I think it was enough for Giannis to stick around, unless they absolutely get mauled this year, which is a big possibility, because we were just talking about teams in the East are finally starting to get leverage on becoming sort of the top tier teams in the NBA, like Boston, Miami, Philly. Houston is a team that can be very scary in the playoffs. The Nets, obviously, with KD and Kyrie coming back, so the East ain't no cakewalk no more. And I think Giannis might have to start looking elsewhere if he can't get any right fitted help that he sort of needs. Okay, last very quick one here. We are just going to talk about the gamble, or the sort of a lottery, or sort of reward. Who is going to get James Harden? Or is James Harden even going to leave his team this upcoming season? I'm gonna say this video, obviously I don't know what happens to James Harden, but as of right now, James Harden is on the Rockets, and I feel like James Harden will stick to the Rockets. I feel like he's not gonna go anywhere. I feel like there's going to be a lot of talk, a lot of chit chat between a lot of different teams. But do I feel like a deal is going to get done? I'm gonna say no. I feel like there might be like a false Woj bomb. Maybe the Sixers start talking about, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid getting thrown in to get a trade for James Harden, or with the Nets they might talk about, Kyrie or some sort of name like that, where it's like, oh my God, like that could actually happen. This is happening, blah blah blah, and then nothing's gonna happen. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of chit chat for the James Harden sort of sweepstakes, but I don't think anything is going to happen. It's going to be very awkward, but I feel like James Harden will stay. I don't think he's going to get traded. I think he might actually just walk in free agency. So I feel Harris or Karis LeVert or something like that, you better get the bag. You better get a land full of money and goods and draft picks and players. You better get the whole thing, because James Harden is a